Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a new military video. The today argument is the biggest strategic airlifter from United States, the C-5 Galaxy. It may be considered the biggest military airlifter, but actually to be precise we also have the Antonov 124 that is a little bigger, also if mostly adopted for civil use and not only military. But for today I would like to concentrate on this one, so if you like the idea, we can speak about the Antonov in another dedicated video. This aircraft is really big. You can fit inside an entire helicopter like the Chinook or the UH-60 Black Hawk, for example. It's really huge, but let's analyze the aircraft in every aspect, because it really deserves it. As you can read, it has a crew of 7. Why so many people? Two of them, of course, are the pilot and co-pilot needed to fly the C-5, just like any other aircraft. The other crew members are needed for loading the aircraft, checking the cargo, the instruments, and these kind of things. Of course, depending on the cargo, they can even be less than 7. The aircraft itself, it's being produced from 1978, so many years ago. It's being adopted from 50 years. 50 years. You can imagine how many years they are, and this thing is still flying and still transporting military cargo around the world. It's awesome. The manufacturer is the Lockheed Martin company, and the cost of a single aircraft is around $100 million, so it's not really cheap, but we like it. The latest upgrade of this aircraft was introduced in 2006 with the C-5M Super Galaxy. Now, what about the dimensions? Before I told you that this aircraft is huge, but how much? As you can see, we have a length of 75.3 meters. A football field is long about 100 meters. So this one is just a little bit shorter. It's really long. It has a height of 20 meters and it has a wingspan of 67.9 meters with a wing area of 576 square meters. It's huge. If you want to have something to compare to understand how big really is, the closest civil aircraft to this size is the Airbus 380, the 800 class, so the latest one. That one is really close to the size of the C-5 Galaxy, so you can have an idea on how big is it. To take off and landing we need a very long runway for an aircraft so big. As you can see, we need 2500 meters for the takeoff and 1500 meters for the landing. But even if you need a really long runway, actually is not really so long. Why I'm telling you that? Because for an aircraft so big, actually you should need a longer runway. Why it can take off and landing on actually shorter runway? It's all thanks to the tail. If you check the tail, as you can see, the tail wings are not on the fuselage like many civil aircraft, but are on the top of the tail. And they are in this specific position just to achieve a faster takeoff. And in fact, you can notice something similar also on other cargo aircraft, like the C-17 Globemaster, another smaller cargo aircraft. It has the same tail wings in that position to achieve the same result. And for the same reason, if we check similar size aircraft like the A380 we named before or the Antonov 124, they need 3000 meters runway to take off. So this is a feature that I think really matter, but now that it's clear this aircraft is big. What are the performance? Well, also if so big, it can still achieve a maximum speed of 855 km per hour, so it's quite fast. And the cruise speed is just a little less, 833 km per hour. Why the difference is so low? Well, because this kind of aircraft, it's not a fighter, it doesn't need to achieve a very fast speed. The only thing we need here is to reach our destination with the biggest payload and consuming less fuel possible, because fuel costs money, of course. And what about the range? As you can see, we have from 6000 km to 13,000 km, depending on the payload. Of course, heavier is the aircraft, lower is the range it can achieve. And we have a surface ceiling of 11,800 meters, that is something in the standard of also the civil aircraft, so nothing strange here. But to lift something so big, what do we need? Well, we need 4 engines, in this case 4 turbofans made by General Electric with a total power of 900 kN. It's really a lot of power, but it's not surprising because this aircraft is really big and have to lift a big payload, so I guess it's really normal. And I just said payload, so what's the weight of this beast? As you can read, the empty weight, so without a payload, is 172,000 kilograms. So when the aircraft is empty, the weight of the aircraft alone is 172,000 kilograms. Is a lot. And what about the maximum takeoff weight? In this case we reach 418,000 kilograms. I repeat, 418,000 kilograms is really heavy. These kind of numbers are really crazy. The payload itself is 130,000 kilograms. And not only we have a huge payload, but also the cargo hold is really big. We have 880 cube meters of space. The specific dimensions of the cargo hold are 37 meters long, 5.8 meters wide and 4.1 meters high. There is really a lot of space. You can place a pool inside without problem. So imagine swimming in a pool inside an aircraft in the air. It would be fun, I guess. Moreover, we have another very important characteristic of this aircraft. The cargo can be loaded from the front and the rear of the aircraft. So usually this kind of aircraft can open or the nose and load from the front or the back to load from the rear. But in this case it can do both. Why it's so important? Because this is a military aircraft and of course transport military cargo. You can transport the military cargo not only in your country where you are safe, but also in other countries where maybe you are in war. So what you need is to be fast, because this is not a very small target. It's not so difficult to find this aircraft and attack it. So what you want to do is to land, unload the cargo in the fastest way possible, load maybe a new cargo and take off. Opening both the sides makes this operation much faster, because while the cargo is unloaded from the front, for example, the new cargo is already being loaded from the rear, or vice versa. This is something that you can't find, for example, in the Antonov 225 that is actually bigger, can transport more cargo, but it's designed more for civil use, not strictly military like this one. And this is why here you can find these kind of features like the both opening on the front and on the rear, or the specific tail to take off on shorter runway and similar features. Another thing very interesting on this aircraft is that it can fly without using the mechanic parts. Every aircraft to fly adopts ailerons, flaps, these mechanic parts that moving make the aircraft to fly. But this one actually can do the same in case of emergency, also without hydraulic parts. Simply using the engines, thanks to the computer, it can fly and land safely without using them. So if the hydraulic parts are damaged, it can use this system to land. And actually this is something that really happened. In that period it was still not introduced as feature. It was November 2003 in Baghdad. An Airbus A300 DHL aircraft was hit by a surface-to-air missile. And it actually was also the first jet airliner to land safely without any hydraulic, using only engine controls. All the hydraulic systems were damaged. So the pilot, thanks to his huge ability, increasing or decreasing the power of every single engine, was able to fly the aircraft and land it safely. From that moment they studied a system to make it automatically, so thanks to the computer now the pilot can do this kind of operation without so much difficulty. And if the hydraulic systems are not working anymore, this system can be adopted to fly and land safely the aircraft. I think this is really awesome. And also for today the video finished here. I hope you enjoyed this fast review of the C-5 Galaxy. I'm really enjoying making these kind of videos very fast, where we speak about a machine. I'm trying to make them not so long and not so difficult to understand, so I think anyone can watch the video without problems. And of course, if you have more questions or you want to know more about these machines, I always leave some links in the description of the video, so you can take a look to them if you want, or you can even directly ask me in the comments what you want to know. If you are curious about maybe, I don't know, some aspect of the machine I didn't address it in the video. Until now this is only the third video of this kind I made until now, I guess, but as I said, I really like it. So let me know if you like this kind of format as well, and if yes, what you would like to see next, so you can give me some ideas about the next machine dedicated video. But for now we finish here. Remember to leave a like if you liked the video, to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, turn on the bell to receive the notification when I upload a new video, but as always, every Saturday at this time you will find a new content. So stay tuned and see you again next week. Bye!